This is the free session, of course, and everyone is welcome to participate, which means also if you have an interesting project, if you would like feedback, if you would like to discuss your project, you can write me at research.network@maxqda.de or connect on LinkedIn, and we will organize a research session so you can present your project to the community. And now, without taking more of Tuğçe's time and your time, I would like to invite you to get something to drink. I don't know where you're participating from, but here in Berlin, it's super hot today. So maybe get something to drink and enjoy Tuğçe's presentation about her dissertation about human capital sustainability. We will have about 20 minutes of presentation, and then after we will have a Q&A. I will collect your questions. So during the presentation, you can write your questions and I will collect them. And then after we will discuss them. So Tuğçe, the floor is yours and I will be here.
Thank you, Leah. Okay, and also I need to remove this. Okay. Hello, thank you for participating in this webinar during this lovely summer season. My name is Tuğçe Yerlitaş, and I am a doctoral student at ISM University of Management and Economics. Today, I would like to share with you my dissertation project titled Human Capital Sustainability. Of course, today I will focus on how I am using MaxQDA, which features I use and why I am using that. But also I want to share why this topic, that's my dissertation topic, is important and what I found without, of course, going too deeply into the literature. And I will keep it simple so that everyone from different fields, I hope, can easily understand. And also you can see here the QR code, which is linked to my LinkedIn account. So later on, if you want to contact with me, you can use this or just typing my name and find me. So let's start. I think all of you know that nowadays global challenges jeopardize human well-being and even existing by depleting global resources and creating social inequality. And this situation is compelling all actors, including organizations, to internalize a sustainability approach. And sustainability necessitates the ability to profit without depleting resources and take the support of surrounding community. And in this sense, human sustainability becomes essential for organizations because employees constitute the internal community and internal community of organization, and they are owners of valuable internal resource, which we call human capital. So some of you maybe don't know what is human capital. So in human resource management literature, we define human capital as individuals' knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics which generate economic value. Then what is the issue in here? Current human capital studies generate a limited understanding of effective usage of human capital and sustain it due to dominated economic perspective. And we see that this perspective limited the study scopes in the sense of various aspects. First of all, only knowledge, skills, and abilities and other characteristics which generate financial performance are considered, but also individuals' well-being, free will, or personal value, which may contribute organization not only financial, but also social and environmental goals are overlooked. And also, again, because of these economic perspective, high-performance work systems are used to retain employees and capture more value from them. However, on the one hand, these systems increase employees' performance and aid individual development by providing many resources. On the other hand, they may cause high pressure on employees and threaten their well-being. In summary, current studies are insufficient to understand how organization can use human capital to achieve long-term goals instead of short-term financial goals. And furthermore, the studies don't provide insight into how organization can continuously access these valuable resources. So that's why in my research, I ask what is human capital sustainability in an organizational context, and I aim to gain a comprehensive understanding of organizational human capital sustainability. So you can ask that why sustainability you choose, or why you decided to merge sustainability and human capital literature. Because the sustainability concept provides the holistic view which we need to understand the effective usage of human capital. So from the sustainability approach, we understand that an organization sustainability depends on its ability to create a balance with its stakeholders by meeting mutual needs and supporting stakeholder sustainability. So, and one of these stakeholders is human beings. And from an organizational perspective, organizations need to human sustainability because need the human capital sustainability at work because they need to use their human capital. However, sustaining human at work also is not enough because human sustainability focuses on individual well-being and benefits. That's why it is important to understand for us how organization can support human sustainability in a way that enables long-term success and sustainable for both the organization and its employees. In my research, I choose qualitative research to discover how managers perceive human capital sustainability. I use inductive reasoning because of the necessity to reach conclusion from data. And I have collected data by conducting semi-structured interviews with HR managers. And also when I'm choosing HR managers, I search that I think that they should have more than 5 years experience in HR field, that's in human resource field. And also they should work for an established company in Europe, which have more than 100 employees. And also when I am preparing the interview scenario, I consider to learn the participants' opinion about how they define human capital, and also what they understand from human capital sustainability, which kind of internal and external factors affect organization human capital and its sustainability. So you can see in here the summary of participant information. But I should remind you in here, my dissertation project is still in progress. So that's why I'm planning to increase the number of participants. But shortly now I can say that my participants' experience at human resource management range from 5 years to 40 years. And while their gender distribution was 64% female and 36% male. So now I think we came the most important part for this presentation, how analyze my data. Of course, I use the MaxQDA for analyzing my data. In the first step, I use open coding to generate descriptive first order code. And for titling the codes, I applied in vivo coding because the participants' own words were valuable for us in sense of representing the essence of interviewee's perception. So in here, I can say that MaxQDA was very useful because you know that it has a feature which allows you to perform in vivo coding directly. And in the second step, I use axial codes based on similarities and connections of first order codes, and I grouped them and created my second order codes. And later on, in the third step, I use selective coding by relating second order codes and generate main categories. So actually, before going to the third step, I completed the second one. I realized that my participants' definition of human capital and their answer to other questions were related, which means, according to their answer, the other questions answer changing according to their definition of human capital. So that's why I decided to assign my second order code, which is related to how participants define human capital as a variable. And this helped me to create a document set and understand during the analysis process whether it is a pattern or not. So you can see here an example from the beginning of my research and also the latest one. I use the code matrix browser to observe how the code intensity changed in each document set during my analysis. And I can say that the creating document set was helpful in analyzing the data because it allowed me to compare interviews and identify patterns more easily. Of course, and during my analysis, I didn't follow the strategy of collecting all data and analyzing it at the same time. Instead, I preferred to do it parallel. This means that I first analyzed 5 interviews and later I added another 5 or 6, for example. And each time I use visuals and my memos to see how it was going and what was changing. And therefore, I needed to record them somewhere. And in this sense, I can say that QTT was very useful, and I can easily follow the research progression and changes, and I collect visuals with insights, my insights. And additionally, you know that dissertation is sometimes a big project, and you can derive more than one scientific paper from your project. And therefore, you may want to work on 2 different papers using the same data. And again, the QTT allows for this, and you can create one worksheet for each project. And this is helpful in identifying what type of data you use in different projects to avoid self-plagiarism. So that's why I can say that my data actually is a bit rich. And so currently, I am working on my research paper, and then which I will show you now the model of this. And so that means that I am using only some part of my codes, not all of them. And that's why I found very useful to select some codes and some quotations, my memos, specifically in the worksheet and work on it. So that's why I can say it's very useful. And the last and very recent feature that I used in this project was the AI assist. I used the AI assist to create summaries for my subcodes, which mean my secondary codes. I can say that really this feature was launched just in time for me because I was preparing my department assessment report and I used the summary table to write my report. And I could easily compare each code among documents and also document sets. So that's why I found very useful. And additionally, I created code memos with AI Assist to maintain control over my work and compare my first order code. Of course, I utilized both my own memos, which I wrote myself, and also ones generated by AI. And after I decided to merge some first order codes, etc. So it makes it my work very easy. And also it's like I can say that it's someone outside of my research read what I coded or something and give a comments like I feel like that. So it's in this sense I found very useful these features as well. So this part, my analysis part in here finished, and also I wanted to share with you what I found. First of all, I saw that there are 2 different attitudes of HR managers toward human capital, which I have just, which I just share with you as my secondary code. One of them is perceiving human capital as a resource, which we call it as a resource attitude. And the other one is perceiving human capital as people or employee, and we call it as a humanization attitude. So I draw this model in order to show how these 2 attitudes differentiate and overall how change the approach of the HR managers toward human capital management process. So you can follow in a vertical direction. So how HR managers' attitude toward human capital change from resource attitude to humanization attitude, and how this is effect from their approach change from performance-oriented to sustainability-oriented. And I prefer to describe this differentiation between these attitudes as a kind of evaluation or progress instead of polarization, which means they are not exactly different polar. So because in the resource attitude, HR managers approach the human capital management process in a performance-oriented manner, and this calls them to focus on a limited part of human capital-related issues and their consideration of the employer and employee relationship to be based on financial expectation. And we see that in the resource attitude, managers are concerned with finding the required competencies, attitudes, and personalities, as well as caring for employees' physical health. All of these concerns have a common point of focusing on performance. On the other hand, in humanization attitude, managers approach the human capital management process in a sustainability-oriented manner. Focusing on more dimension in each category, including dimensions that are in the resource attitude as well. And managers focus on how employees feel. And they emphasize the employee's mental state for human capital sustainability. So employees, according to them, employees should feel good and happy both in the company and in their personal life. Also, when we look at the organization level, managers believe that organizational human capital should represent society, include all diverse employee groups, and each member should feel valued. And this is a necessity not only for creating social equality, but also for improving organizational performance by better understanding customer wishes and expanding talent pool to reach required competencies. So that's why we see that differences in here in a sustainability-oriented manner, they define to employer and employee relationship based on its kind of constructive partnership, which based on trust. And in this relationship, organization answer social expectation in addition to financial ones, and employees find fair treatment, which destroys any discrimination and give a space to speak freely and opportunities to sustain their well-being to create balance in their life. Also, they find meaningful work, which means not only feel part of financial success of an organization, and they want to see that organization care about social and environmental issues, and that employees contribute these social and environmental goals with their daily work. And also, when we come to the last column, we see that long-term outcomes, which refer to positive or negative result or issues that organization face in long run. So what I realized is that in humanization, managers are much more long-term oriented related to human capital because they mention more about the future. And in resource attitudes, managers only mentioned turnover, which endangers the organization human capital stability. On the other hand, in the humanization attitudes, managers said that they have high engagement, retention, and commitment rate. And this is also show that how they understand how to reach sustainability. Also, they believe that human capital sustainability leads to sustainable growth and better organizational image. So overall, in contrast to existing literature, we found that managers with humanization attitude tend to expand discourse on human capital beyond skill and knowledge acquisition consideration. Specifically, they direct their attention toward individuals' mental and emotional well-being, both inside the organization and outside the organization. And also, furthermore, these managers demonstrate a heightened sensitivity toward diversity of the organizational human capital. So, end of this research, I can say that human capital sustainability means protecting individuals' mental and physical health, and whereas developing and enhancing individuals' competencies and deploying individual human capital to create organization-level human capital, which represent the diversity in the society by supporting fair treatments. Also, from the theoretical part, I can say that our findings support idea that organization community can be source of competitive advantage of organization, to generate not only financial return, but also social return on investment, and brings the better image for not only employees, for all stakeholders. And also our findings provides an explanation of how the resource-based view and stakeholder theory can be combined and reveal the high potential of organization human capital. So far what I found from my research. Thank you so much for listening. Now I will be happy if you have any, happy to hear your question and comment if you have.
Great. Wow, there was a lot of content. It was super interesting. Thank you so much for the presentation. For now, I have 2 questions here. And yeah, feel free to post more questions. I will read them. So first is, thank you for this wonderful presentation. I found your coding process very interesting. Could you tell us a bit more about how you developed your code system?
Yeah, actually, it's, as I said, that it started with like in vivo coding. So as I said, for me, it was important to what the participants said, what kind of words they are using, because especially after I realized that their human capital definition, how changed the other answers. So I carefully select their own words. And later on, of course, when you use in the first coding process in vivo, I think for me it's much more challenging things is how you merge these all the data, because you found something very representative your data, some words, and the other one also, but these two is like refer to same topic, like. So that's why I said that creating memo in this process was very helpful to me. Later on decided that, and you know, this is kind of, I think, iterative process. So you are doing this, I don't remember even how many times I changed my code structure. So that's why, yeah, I developed like that. I did something, of course, like this is the process also which I share with my supervisor and also co-author of one of my paper. So we decided together and changed the names, merged them, and also, I don't know, really, this is some kind of natural things. And then we decided, okay, these codes are related to each other, so we should draw this kind of model, etc. So in this way, it happens. I think I can say. I hope it will happen.
Yeah, I hope so too. If not, write again and we will read it again. Next question is, could you please expand on how you applied the 3-step grounded theory coding procedure, open, axial, and selective?
Okay, yeah, actually, first of all, I should say that there is some mistakes happened in the announcement of this presentation. My project is not a grounded theory. I didn't apply grounded theory because in grounded theory, you should develop and add some things to, you should create a theory or you should develop the theory. But human capital theory, it's already mature theory. So in this sense, I can say that I used grounded theory in my research. So axial codings, as I actually said that after the created first order codes, you need to find some similarities, some connect for the first order codes. And I found them. And then I merged the second order codes, which we call it axial codes. And later on, again, when you created this secondary code, these are also, should we create some connection to each other. So when you reach this connection, I developed the third order codes as well in this way. So based on similarities between the codes.
Thank you. Sorry for the mix-up, by the way. I didn't notice. I understood that it was, but yeah, sorry for the miscommunication at this point. But we have more questions now coming in. Interesting work. I just wanted to know how you decided to create 3 codings. Which qualitative research approach did you take? Congratulations for your good work and best wishes for your future research work.
Thank you.
Is it clear? I can also ask the person to read the question or to explain more if the question is not clear.
No, it's good. Yeah. So actually, that's some maybe misunderstanding the people also, which I did in the beginning. So if you are doing qualitative research, you should follow one of them, like grounded theory, ethnography, or case study, etc. But actually, we don't have to define any of them because if you are checking also high-ranked journals, you can see that there is just they just write a qualitative study, and then they just write that which kind of logical reasoning they use. And in this research, I just use inductive logical reasoning. So that's why I can say that I use grounded theory or ethnography, just I use qualitative research. So I hope I answered it.
Yes,
Food of question.
If not, follow-up question, and I will read it out again. Next question. I'm reviewing my open coding codes. I realized I have similar ideas of coding and I wanted to merge them. However, I have a problem to merge them. Can you tell me how to merge them with MaxQDA?
That means for the properties, how I use it? Or, okay, if you're asking the features, how I use, it's you can also find a YouTube, but anyway, you just put the codes and then come to the which kind of code you want to merge, and you will see the merge button, something like that, and you can leave it on it, so then you can merge it. But if you are asking in sense of logic, as I said, that I created the code memos, so which means that when I create one code, I wrote in a code memo what these codes refer it. What does it mean? Why I create this kind of code? I wrote an explanation, and later on I compare these explanations, especially when I work on the mostly smart coding during the merging process. And I realized that if these codes refer to same things, so I should merge them. So in this way, I merge. These processes work like that. And also, one of my suggestions: don't don't wait to do these kind of jobs to finish your all data, like, because I think I split my data, like first I took 5 interview, for example, I analyzed them, and then I started working on my code structure. Later on, I added additional interviews. So in this way, your job could be easier, I guess.
Yes, exactly how you said. I mean, technically, I can only say technically, but it's just a drag and drop. So you can just take the code, put it on the other end, let it go, and then it will merge. Another question. Such a great presentation. Thank you. I am wondering about your experience with AI Assist. How was your experience? Did you find the summaries useful?
I really enjoyed that. As I said, I found very useful in sense of, when you are really working on your data, I think you are sometimes a bit lost. That means, of course, you are reading all interviews and you are generating your ideas based on this. But that moment, maybe your code is not really refer what you want to say yet. So in this sense, I found AI very useful because it's like some kind of eyes from outside of research, and see your only selected text which you coded, and then reading that give you the idea that what actually you referred with this codes. So then you can, and also when you compare with your memos, you can see that do you have some mistake? That means some mispoints, not mistakes actually. Maybe you couldn't really choose enough text or some things in order to refer what you want to say. So that's why I think it's good for control yourself. And also some lazy people like me, like I don't like to write so long sentence. It just helps to, you know, create like paragraph, the summary for your coding, to create memos and also summary. That's why I found very useful. Absolutely, I advise everyone use it because it's some kind of a process, and make it your process faster. This is the biggest issue which I found challenging for qualitative research.
Yeah. Also, if you have more questions about AI Assist, about the new functions, about the new tool, you can always write me or us, and you can always also give feedback. We are super interested in our community. Like, every feedback is good, right? So we can incorporate it in the software and see what can still be good to have, or what could be changed. Yeah. So I think that's it for now with the questions. If you have more, feel free to write. I will read them out. And yeah, if not, thank you so much again for the presentation. It was super interesting for me, because, and for everybody, I think, because yeah, it's very interesting to see MaxQDA applied in so many different areas. Like, we can have philosophy or sociology, now we have HR. We will have a lot more disciplines in the upcoming sessions. Just to give you an idea, we'll have someone from engineering, we'll have someone in NGO work working with MaxQDA. So yeah, stay tuned for the next research sessions. Probably we will also have 2 per month starting in September, because yeah, it seems a great format, and I think it's a good opportunity for everyone in the community to exchange their projects and how to use what, and give some feedback maybe. Yeah, so if you want to do your own research session, don't forget to write me at research.network@maxqda.de, or connect on LinkedIn. And yeah, thank you so much again, Tuğçe. This was really nice.
Thank you, Leah, also for inviting me. I enjoyed as well.